Still not popping up.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Should be.
You want to send me that link? Because I don't know if I can go on it.
That was the...
I wonder if it's plugged into the mic socket. Thank you. Copy.
I'll put it onto Orange Ball too.
Talking hoops now. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Wonder if our mics are working.
Yeah.
You go watch it. All right, this is our first live episode. Just working things out right now. But yeah, we'll be talking shortly. So if you're watching, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Testing 1 2 3. Does that work? All right. Cool. All right, this is first live episode.
Yeah, no, this can be fun. Yeah, following up after good interview with Nick, and the mid majors didn't necessarily do their part, but it's been fun. I think there's a lot of ways you can go with this tournament. I'm one of the people that chooses not to complain about it, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I think we're going to see some amazing basketball with these 8 teams. They're the 8 best teams in the country right now.
Yeah, I think it was like 8 out of the top 9 are.
Gonzaga was the only one,
and
they had a tough. If they have a different seating or different layout there, like they're probably in this round too. So
and they took. I mean, we can get into the games, but they took Houston down to the wire. They had a chance to win it at the end of the game, but yeah, it was a tough draw for Gonzaga, and like you said, kind of Colorado State and Drake were kind of the only mid majors, and McNeese got the upset, but yeah, it's not the year for mid majors this year.
No, and you can be the guy that's going to blame the transfer portal or NIL or whatever you want to do if that's what you want to do. But I think there's going to be ebbs and flows of the tournament, and maybe we won't see the big Cinderella runs as much anymore, but I don't think it's completely going to be taken out of the game. But we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to see great basketball in these next 2 weeks. So
yeah. What up, Logan? We got a question or a hot take. No Cinderella this year makes it more fun. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think the games, like we said, there are going to be some great basketball games coming up, and there were these last few days. But yeah, now getting into the Elite 8 Final Four. I mean, the Final Four is realistically could be all number 1 seeds. So.
It's one of the old takes from Big Cat, from Pardon My Take, that he used to say is like, everyone loves the upsets until you get to the Sweet 16 and there's a team that obviously doesn't belong and it's a bad game. Like, again, these are the 8 best teams in the country, and they're going to be fighting it out. And if it is all 1 seeds, then it's a great year for it, because it's going to be, no matter what, it's going to be 4 great teams in the Final Four. But I'm just excited to see that. And again, like I said, I'm not ready to just put a blanket statement out there saying that this is the end of the Cinderella. This is the end of of that because of NIL. Like there is a take that can be made by that, but I'm not ready to put it to bed quite yet.
Yeah, and I think this year was just different. I mean, in years past, teams have kind of been on the same level, but I feel like this year you had 4 or 5 teams that were were a step ahead above everybody else. So it could be NIL, it could be just this year, but I think it's going to be different.
Yeah, we saw all year really good teams.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and those teams have just taken care of business in this tournament, so that's different. Dent to UCLA, he got his bag, man. You can't really blame him. He wasn't going to Xavier. You know, he wasn't going to go there.
He's from
LA. It's a great pickup for Mick Cronin. It's his type of point guard. He's a phenomenal player. He'll be a really good player. And
$2 to $3 million, I heard.
Yeah, it's crazy. Ridiculous. Pretty impressive numbers to pick up, you know, before you go, you know, play professionally. So why not? He's a good fit. I think it makes sense. You know, I like the fit for him, and we'll see what happens. It's a
UTSA.
The
whole thing about what I didn't really look into it, but all I saw was the coach or whoever promised them all this money and they're not getting it or something. Or what was
basically that, which I think you'll start to see. I think you just see more of. But the text messages were so bizarre. Like the coach just sent like the eyeball emojis. Like, come on, dude. Like
he's like flirting with them.
Yeah, it was that's a really, really weird move. So that's something that I think until we get like contracts and all that's just something you can do. I don't know if I was going to UTSA, I would it should be. I mean, this is the reason. These are the same reasons why Reggie Bush got his Heisman Trophy taken away, and sanctions were sent, you know, on schools and all that stuff. Like, it's mayhem with that kind of stuff. It definitely should be a fine or so. I don't know how you even work that out, but I agree.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, obviously the portal's been talked about in these last few weeks, and people have their opinions on there. But what do you think about either limiting the amount of transfers you get, or you get fined? A team is fined if they take a player with more than 2 transfers, or somehow you. What do you do to limit that?
I think you just.
If you should, do you think you should?
I think you start with having contracts, and if you want to buy out someone's contract, you can, but you have to give money back to that team's collective. Right? Like that only makes sense. Like, hey, if we have a guy here for 3 years at a mid-major and we built him into this, you know, maybe he was a 1-star kid and he's grown in our program for 3 years, and then he wants to go off and do his thing at the highest level. Like the mid-major should be paid for that work, right? Yeah. Like it can't just be hey, thanks for all what you did, but I'm gonna leave you now.
Yeah, like a prime example is Magoon Guaf.
Like he redshirted last year,
and he was a 0-star or 1-star, and San Diego State found him, they developed him, and now he's getting. And you can't blame the kid. Like, someone offers you hundreds of thousands of dollars, I mean, you're not going to turn that down.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever. I don't ever feel like it's the player's necessarily fault. Like, but it also should be if a high major school wants to go down and take a kid from a mid major, you got to pay. You got to pay it, and I think that only makes sense. And then, you know, I think a transfer, if your coach leaves, and maybe like one free transfer, and then you have to sit out. Like it can't be you play 4 years for 4 different schools. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in favor of the transfer portal, but when it gets to the point where you're 4 different schools in 4 years or 5 different schools, or whatever, I think that's taking it a little too far. But BSU next season,
you know, there's a lot of good players that I've seen their name in the portal. I don't know who's really on the radar. I think the guy that I saw was from Montana. I can't remember his name. But
he's all-time lead assist.
Yeah, like good point guard like that would be good. You obviously need a guy that could just and I've seen they're naming multiple guys, but you need a 40% 3-point shooter, I think, to come in. I think you'll still have great numbers with Peanut and Andrew. And then I even saw their name in the half for like Bear Cherry at UNLV, which would be an interesting pickup. He's a physical, need a big for sure. Like I like the idea of that. They were in. Let me look it up. They were in some. The name of some pretty high level dudes.
I saw Carson Tout from Northern Arizona.
Yeah, 7-footer,
big guy. I think he was like leading one of the top rebounders in the nation at Northern Arizona.
Yeah,
the Big Sky. But
I mean, that's their thing. They love they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
And I know Coach Burns is gonna need a guy who can play some defense as well. That's definitely a deal breaker in their portal. And
here's another guy like a D2 guy, Alex Steen. I saw it averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds, almost 2.5 blocks. Like I think a rim protector is a guy that they don't necessarily always go after, but you kind of see how effective it is, especially in our league.
GT's at Georgia Tech.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Chris and Dylan Anderson leaving.
Oh, and then the other big one was Isaiah Elholm from USC. He didn't play a whole lot, but I think I saw that too. And then All Right,
yeah. Best name in college basketball.
Again, like a 40% 3-point. Like, I think it's just now you're looking at you need a big, obviously, and a guy that's going to come in and shoot the ball, at a high percentage. Which it's hard because you can't always just assume that he's going to shoot that way, but it is a need for sure. But the league's going to be totally different, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Crown on Monday. That's
gonna
be fun. I think
it's good.
High level basketball.
I am excited. I think it'll be a good. I think it'll be a good lead up to the Final Four. Like it'll be good basketball. Like the NIT is just not good, and it's hard to really get into it. But this will be pretty high level basketball. Haney big,
Shout out Haney.
Yeah, Zach Haney type big. Yeah, absolutely. No, I honestly, when you think about it, like. Right now, we'll see the changes in the league, but like Boise State might be a team that's going into next year still one of the favorites to win the league.
Yeah, very well could be, especially with New Mexico's losing Dent and I'm blanking. True Washington.
Yeah, True. Which I would assume maybe he follows Patino.
Yeah, I would maybe think so. And then Colorado State's losing. I'm blanking again. What's his name? Point guard.
Kai Evans.
Yeah, Kai Evans.
Yeah. They'll have some dude. Like
San Diego State's losing Magoon and I really can't remember his name. Nick Boyd. Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be kind of the clubhouse leader and going into next year. I think. Depending on the portal pickups, it could be Boise State. Miles Bird.
NBA.
I don't know. Like it's gonna be a completely different league. Even coaching wise, like some good coaches. Andrew Meadow, player of the year. He's probably gonna have to average like 16, 17 a game, but
I can see it.
The way he played in the last 10 games of the year is a player of the year type guy. I think defensively probably needs to get a little better, but he's still a good player. What about this? If you want to really talk about this, I think the biggest thing right now is the Players Era tournament. Do you see that's expanded to 32?
So Maui is going by, or it's not leaving, but a bias train. Hey, Meadow, he's a great guy. I love that dude.
No, he's good.
Oh yeah, Players Era,
32 teams.
Yeah, that's crazy. I kind of like it.
Oh, it's gonna be a great tournament.
Mini March Madness.
It does kill every other tournament you want to be in.
Yeah, for the nostalgia factor with the Maui and the other big tournaments you got during the Thanksgiving time. It does kind of suck, but yeah, 32 team kind of that would be awesome just to watch and kind of get you warmed up for.
I wish they would do something like this where they do like. I wish they would do half of the bracket is like. Say we do half the bracket is in Maui, half of it is
That
in
would be
like
cool.
Madison Square Garden, and then the championship is like in Vegas or something.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, do you even have to schedule anyone else? Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a weird scheduling deal because you obviously have. If you win, you'd have to. I'll have to look at the bracket. I don't know if it's like a guaranteed games. You'd have to assume it would be, but that would be something interesting. But yeah, the Maui is such a great tournament. I'd hate to see it. They need to have money up. I guess that's what.
Yeah, that's what it's becoming nowadays.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to March Madness. I know this is my pet peeve for this year. Is like usually almost every year. There's only been 1 year, I think, where it was all number ones. It was 2007 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people that don't watch a second of college basketball until March, and they pick all of the favorites and stuff, they're doing really good in their brackets. And meanwhile, you got me who's thinking some team's going to upset and being dumb, and it doesn't happen. It just sucks to see.
Yeah, man, it's the year of the chalk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never thought about it like. I just don't complain enough about it. Like I don't feel like I need to complain about the NCAA tournament, and I never really felt that it was a like super NIL deal. I get it. I understand like the best players are getting paid at the best team, like at the best programs right now. But all year there's been 8 good teams. Like all year there's been the SEC is great. They've got their big dogs in. Like these are really good teams, and they just took care of business like early in this tournament. And there were some games that were close. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm excited to see really good teams play at the end of this tournament because it's going to be exceptional basketball, and all the best players in the country are playing these next 2 weeks, and that's what you want to see when you're watching these games.
Yeah.
Like,
who's your number 1 team going into next year? Are you talking overall or just Mountain West? Because I think overall it's just hard to tell right now, especially if for some reason Cooper Flagg decides to come back. I know that's been something he's talked about. I don't think he will, but yeah, it's just hard to tell before the portal kind of.
Oh, you're totally right too. Like people who guess like, oh, I like this mascot or I like the colors of this team. They always end up winning those. Especially when you're playing for money, you think you know a lot, and then your buddy's girlfriend wins $500 because she liked the fluffy tiger mascot over something else.
Yeah.
Mountain West, I don't know, dude. We'll have to see after the transfer portal kind of shakes out, but like,
I
mean, it just kind of depends.
Yeah, you could say Utah State just because.
They actually have a coach back.
Yeah, and they have a coach. And I don't think Fosliv is going to leave, even though I heard that he might have. But we'll see.
That's impressive.
96. That is pretty impressive. Who you got Final Four? Who's your Final Four matchups? Because we got in about 10 minutes or so, we got Florida and Texas Tech, and then Duke, Alabama, which will be a great game. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
I think if Alabama shoots like they did against BYU, even though they give up like 90 points.
They had 80 points for like 10 minutes.
Auburn, Duke, St. John's.
Yeah, see, I had St. John's too, and I kind of went against the I thought St. John's would be the breaker of the like Ken Palm top, top 25, the offense and defense or whatever combined. Like I kind of thought they would be the deal breaker, and it obviously didn't work. But again, that's a solid list right there.
Yeah.
I thought they might be the team that was similar to that, Houston teams in the past that weren't great on offense. I really want to see Houston Houston's a really good team. I think they could win a national championship this year. But Duke is just Duke's kind of been on my radar now. That's like they might be just beyond a lot of these teams right now. But then if you get an Alabama team that can shoot like that, I don't know. But also, I was so blown away by how they guarded Mark Sears in that.
They were going
under the screen. I mean, I know he struggled, but like he's such a capable shooter that it kind of dumbfounded me in that way. And I mean, he was just walking into threes.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you're gonna have to adjust. The team makes 24, 25 threes on you.
Yeah,
in a game.
They never really adjusted to. I didn't make sense. Yeah, I think the big difference with Houston this year is they've got a legit offense.
Yeah. Did you watch that game last night, the Houston game?
Yeah.
That was a sweaty OB play. I mean,
it was genius.
They saw Braden Smith guarding the inbounder, was chasing all the staggers and threw right back in.
And Sampson is a really good coach, and he said he was saying like he told his assistants don't draw anything up that's different. Just run our stuff. And you could see Braden Smith count to three and then take off. Yeah. Boom, right back to the inbounder. The most important guy on an inbounds play, Sammy, the inbounder.
That is very true.
Yeah. You know what?
I don't think
I can't even talk about the referees because it's been pretty bad. It's college referees. I can't even get into it because it's always going to be bad.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the only Mountain West ref Tony Padilla against BYU Bama.
He teed up an BYU dude.
Yeah, I saw that.
When they had cut it to like 6 on a 3. And let's be honest, what was a BYU player really saying?
It's like that one clip.
What the frick?
Remember that one clip? He's like,
shut the F up. Yeah.
Hey, maybe
better than Vern.
Yeah. Vern.
Yeah. Vern. There's a reason why all those guys that you see in the Mountain West don't get the call up to the big dance because.
Hey, Vern was in the tournament.
Vern was, and Padilla made it into the next round, but he's probably back home now. I don't know where he's at, but that was just. You can't call that.
No.
Especially BYU was making a little run, and it just totally flipped the game. I mean, went from like a 6-point game to 9, and then, I mean, Alabama ended up just torching it, so it didn't really matter. But
I will say, shout out one positive referee thing. Shout out Roger Ayers. I don't know if you saw Liberty, Oregon, and
he stopped the game.
He stopped the game for that walk on to come in.
And that's just good feel for that.
Especially the thing, Liberty had like one timeout left too. Club refs, AAU refs. That's a different story. Like AAU refs. Just I've seen guys that don't even cross half court. They just walk up and down on one side.
No, yeah, that was a good call. That's what you're. Let's just have it. That's when you know a guy knows basketball. Like you can be a really good ref and also understand. Hey, I'm gonna let these guys run.
Yeah.
You know,
Kevin Harlan does a really good job of that too. Like whenever he always says like where they're from and stuff. The guys that come in at the end of the game and also the refs too. Kevin Harlan's just great for the game.
Yeah, well, that's how you know someone actually does research on a team when they know where the walk-ons are and those type of things. Because I've listened to a lot of people commentate games, and the 8th guy on the bench comes in, they don't have a single stat for the guy. You know, it's like that's always a cool moment for sure.
Yeah, kind of talking. There's some beef, not beef, but talk about the scheduling and the Sweet 16 about how we don't start till for the Mountain Time it would be like 5 o'clock, but for Eastern Time it would be like 7, and then you got.
I couldn't imagine being on the East Coast.
Yeah, right? You have to wait till like 1 a.m. to finish the game, and games are overlapping. And we got 2 games on at halftime at the same time. Why don't you just start at like 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, late game?
Because that makes too much sense.
True, that is true.
I never really understood that at all, but it's not like those arenas are doing stuff before. They have to like, I don't know. It never really made. It makes sense when it's the first 2 rounds because you have so many games to get in. But like, there's 2 games a night in those venues, right? Like, or whatever it was. Like, and I wasn't a huge fan of the. I'm not a huge fan of already going to the football stadium in this round.
Say, I hate that. It's not so well.
Like, I love it in the Final Four. I think it's a good atmosphere, and because there's so many people there. But they kind of had like the half of the stadium thing.
It was a weird environment.
Yeah, and like the camera angle was kind of odd. And,
just put it at the Pacers arena. I guess they're playing right now.
Yeah, but you can work that out. I'm sure somehow. Yeah, that's not my favorite thing in the world.
Worst year officiating? Yeah, I mean,
there's always gonna be.
There's always.
It's it's a weird deal, man. Officiating, it's not these guys aren't like full-time employees, or they don't really have. It's all messed up. In the NBA, you're a full-time employee of the NBA. You kind of have to whatever, and then in college, it's not necessarily that. So it needs to be a little. There's also a lot of instances where you get you can't have the I can't remember who called this, but the blarge. You can't have a block charge call where one ref does one thing and one ref does the other. Like that's just bad. And even in the what you were saying with Purdue, Logan, like Houston got away with that offensive charge, but also Braden Smith's a guy who's known to take a dive on one of those too. So I don't know.
And there was also like a goaltending call. Goaltending, but yeah, you can go back and forth with the refs all day.
Can't go back and change calls. That's the other thing. Also, I did see with the Crown, they're doing the challenge, right? Let's do that. We don't spend
the last 2 minutes being like 30 minutes and reviewing every single out of bounds.
I'm not a fan of the. Once it gets under 2 minutes, anytime the ball goes out of bounds, you see the ref go, all right, we got to look at it. And it's like, man, it just really slows the game down for sure.
There has been some better games. Like first round was tough. Second round was tough. But, I mean, I guess you had second round. Colorado State, Maryland was probably maybe the best game of the tournament. But my favorite game, Texas Tech, Arkansas.
That was a great,
Tech comes
really,
back
really good game.
From 16, forces OT. Back and forth in OT, and then Cal doesn't call a timeout like the last few minutes, which was weird. But speaking of Kevin Harlan,
there he is. What a hell of a game though.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Tech is a really, really tough. All their guys are really tough. And what's his name? Even the guy who made the 3 towards the end, their guard, like he was struggling all game. Waps one at the end, like. They have some really good players, and they got 2 really good players from the Mountain West that are kind of leading their charge too. They're a fun team to watch, and we'll see. That was definitely probably my favorite of the tournament so far.
I got a question for you. What do you think about the Amir Ora Khan manager? What do you think about getting NIL deals as a
you know manager? What? I'm a manager. I never saw that. I was a manager for 3 years. I never saw a video once of that dude doing anything manager.
Yeah.
Because if I were to do that stuff, and love all the coaching staff at Boise State, but they would have told me to shut the F up and start doing something. Because I was never. I wasn't trying to get NIL deals or walk out with it. Like there was probably a lot of managers on that McNeese team that were like, dude, can you like help us with the basketballs or something? Like,
because I mean, during practice, while the managers are wiping up sweat, he's
sitting with a boombox.
This dude's wearing the full jumpsuit, talking, getting interviews,
and then he's in the transfer portal and goes.
I
love it.
Also, that guy.
No, if you can capitalize on it for sure, but
we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
like
how's his actual manager skills?
Yeah, like let's see a combine. Put me up against him and putting down the stools. Let's see who wins that one. No, that's pretty funny. Very cool for him to like capitalize on it. I mean, it is cool, but I did think it was funny that people were hyping it up, and it kind of became a little annoying in the
Yeah.
tournament. It was kind of like a way bigger storyline than I think it needed to be.
when
But
when
maybe I'm
started-
just jealous because I never got to do that.
No, I thought it was cool, but when they started saying like, "Oh, who Purdue beat them, right?
Mm.
Purdue eliminates Amir Khan and McNeese State." I'm like,
Yeah.
what
You
about
wouldn't-
the actual players?
Yeah.
Like they're a good team. They
The
got
guys
good,
who played the
they
game.
got good guys on their team who are talented.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was cool, but it almost got to that like Hawk Tua
Yeah.
Hawk Tua level of like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah, I don't think the Boise State coaching staff would like me walking around in a sweatsuit trying to show everyone up
Yeah.
at practice. But
No, I mean
I don't think
so. I don't think guys really care. I mean, guys care about winning, obviously, but when you get to that point, you're just trying to make a name for yourself and ultimately end up where you want to be in your career. Like, yeah, championships are great, but
I don't think anyone that's Cooper Flagg surrounds himself with would tell him to come back. He would do it on his own. And if he wants to come back and play, is his brother? His brother's like
going
a
to Maine,
Maine,
yeah.
right? He should just transfer to Maine and play another.
That'd be nice. That'd be
No,
sweet.
like, because he could come back and play with like the Boozer twins, I guess. But I don't know if they win a national championship.
Yeah, just get out of there. And
I think he would be the only guy to say, "I want to come back." I think even the whole Shire would even be like, "Go to the NBA.
Yeah.
You're going to be the number one draft
because
pick."
like $9 million compared to what, probably over $100 million.
He would end up.
Or what?
I don't know. I don't think it's that much yet, but like the amount of money, the amount of more outreach with like an NBA or NBA team can provide you with like deals and local. It's NIL in the NBA. It's NIL to the extreme, right? Like you'll be involved everywhere, wherever you go, and you'll be making money off of everything.
I looked it up. So it's about $12 million your first year, 4-year contract, $60 million.
But you're talking about
And endorsement
upping the
deals.
endorsement deals to the max. Like, I don't know. If he really wanted to, I mean, it would be a crazy decision to make. But I think that would be I don't know. I think that would be kind of a crazy decision.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
come
maybe
back.
he wants to. Like,
But if he wants to
Yeah.
play, like if he
That'd
wants
be
to play
awesome.
college basketball, I all credit to him. I'm sure everyone would. Everyone would welcome him back, obviously. But I think most people would say, go to the NBA.
Yeah.
He's already ready to play in the NBA. I don't know why you prolong that. And I never really liked the what was that, like the Eli Manning, like, oh, I'm not going to play for that team, so I don't
Yeah.
want to be drafted. I mean, the NBA is a league now where if you're drafted by a team, that doesn't mean you stick around.
no, he'll probably be
You
there
know,
for
you
2
sign
to
a
3
rookie
years.
deal for 2-3 years, and that third year you get your option and you make whatever amount of
Next
money.
thing you know, he's playing for the Lakers with
Yeah, like,
Bronny and
I mean, that's a
LeBron,
very feasible thing.
Luka.
Which, yeah, I mean, no one obviously wants to go play for a non-contender, but I mean, that is the NBA. Like, when you're the best player, you're going to be drafted by a team that is a non-contender.
I want to play college basketball so much more than that. Yeah,
Oh, I agree. I would play college basketball, absolutely, but I think when you're that caliber, you go. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I love BJ's tweet. He's like, guys like RJ King can make triple
Yeah.
figure or 6 figures,
Yeah.
and then he did the
Yeah.
sass meme.
No, that
But
was
yeah,
classic.
like that's legit. I mean, BJ's. I don't know. I feel like he was kind of throwing shade at RJ, but RJ.
He was acting like he's a terrible player
Yeah,
and
he's
can
one of
make
the
money.
best defensive guys in
Yeah.
the country.
He
And
could
that's-
absolutely make money.
Yeah.
So for guys like that, play college basketball for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, if you can make a lot of money playing college basketball, you should. But when you are the unanimous number one pick, every team wants you, I think you go.
Hey, we ain't gonna say anything about BJ.
Yeah, no,
we like BJ.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't even think he's biased. I think he's just like he does have bias, but it's like funny kind of stuff like that where I'm like, are you throwing shade or is it like a joke? I don't because RJ's on the show all the time, so I don't know. Like it is pretty funny though.
Yeah, like BJ. Yeah. We should have BJ on the podcast. Get on the live show.
I mean, maybe we can get a deal with him to get us on the show.
Yeah. Maybe a little pregame next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
New Mexico fans hate that guy.
Yeah.
His altercations with Twitter fans are hilarious.
Yeah. He's got some good liners every once in a while that are pretty good. I mean, he definitely likes to. I know he hates when people say that he stirs the pot, but he definitely does.
I get engagement though. I like it.
No, yeah, it's his brand, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's tweeting at him. That's more money in his pocket for sure.
Do you think there's any way Texas Tech can beat Florida as this game's about to tip off?
I think so. I think Florida. I mean, it's a great matchup. Like even when we're looking at the starting five, like it's going to be some good individual matchups. Obviously, Toppin and Chinyu is a good matchup down low. First Final Four appearance since 2014. It's been a while for Florida too. Michael Irvin on the official.
Oh, Michael Irvin, that's another Mountain West ref. Made it to the Elite Eight. I love Florida's uniforms though, blue and orange.
Yeah,
can't beat it. JT has to drop 40. Yeah,
he's capable, man. He is capable. Player.
I mean, Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. I do like this game. There's the boy.
I'm excited for the Bama Duke game.
Oh, that's gonna be one of the best of the tournament. I wish that was a Final Four game, honestly. But
but if we got 4 number ones in the Final Four, that would. I love the underdogs, but that would be a good matchup.
What a pass! Again, I don't like we were saying. Like everyone loves the upset until you get to this point, and there's some teams that aren't really built to play this deep into the tournament, and all 8 of these teams are built to play, this deep in the tournament. Like a couple of tray balls for Tech.
Same guy, 2 in a row.
No, I guess, talking about that Duke Bama, like, what do you expect out of both those teams? Because I don't think you can expect Alabama to make that many shots. I think that was a BYU defensive just breakdown.
Yeah.
Like game plan wise, that just wasn't good.
Well, Bama's not even a great 3-point shooter.
No, they really aren't. They shoot a lot of them.
Yeah.
but
I don't think there's any way they shoot like that again.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. But
talking about matchups in that game too, like there's a lot of good matchups in that game. Duke's just a really big team too. So is Bama. But even like a Sears Knipple matchup is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Mark Sears is like a 33% 3-point shooting guy. Like he's not gonna. But he's also leaving him wide open was not really the plan. I thought.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird defensive game plan, but. Darrell Williams for 3. Misses. Yeah, also, I don't know if you've been on the guy that makes the videos about the balls being too inflated.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The ones yesterday at the Auburn-Michigan game, you could tell those things were pumped up.
Yeah, I think even Ryan Hammer mentioned that, like, in one of his tweets. He was like, I'm not really a big subscriber to this, but it definitely looks different. And it's
because guys were losing the ball, just dribbling wide open.
You can tell when a guy is dribbling and it bounces funny. Like,
any advice for gaining confidence in games?
I mean, I didn't play.
I didn't play either. But are you talking just in general? I would just say, just keep your thoughts on the next play. Like if you miss a shot and come down next time, just don't be thinking about that. Just if you're a good shooter, just have confidence in yourself that you can make threes.
I think finding your niche within your team is important. Like wherever you play, do what maybe your teammates don't necessarily do well, or our good buddy RJ is the catalyst for that. Like he came to Boise State as a knockdown 3-point shooter, offensive guy, and he became one of the better defensive players on that team, one of the better rebounders. Like he didn't want to do that when he came here, but he realized that's the way he's going to play. And when you do that kind of stuff, your coach can't take you off the floor, right?
And he does it he takes pride in it. He does it to the highest, best of his ability. And yeah, I'm sure he would like to be shooting a bunch of threes each game, but he takes pride.
Yeah. I mean, now is the best time to work on that kind of stuff. Off season with your teammates, like to gain confidence in that your teammates can get you the ball or that kind of stuff. But definitely, I think the best confidence you can gain is becoming a great defender. That's only going to help your offense, and doing the little things like that. And your teammates will ultimately find you at some point. But
and I do get that. Like AAU, it's
everyone's kind of out there for themselves at some point.
So it's like I was similar to you. I didn't really create my own shots. I was just a shooter. So it is difficult, and when your teammates aren't swinging the rock. But Texas Tech early 11-5 lead, and Clayton and one. Or that's not Clayton.
Martin.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Should we keep it going, or should we?
Yeah, let's just keep this thing rolling.
11-10.
Oh, you're ahead.
He's a little ahead of us now. I'm gonna go take a break.
There's that 3 ball. Yeah, Todd Golden's he's a really good coach. He's done it at every level, it seems like. And they've got guys that used it to the transfer portal to their ability and all that stuff. But yeah, to be where they were at, to almost top of the SEC, especially this year, is really, really impressive. And it's a great place for basketball, I feel like, too. I always thought they won the national championship 2 years in a row, couple decades ago. But Golden's just a hell of a coach.
Did Golden yesterday? He was bad. The offer receipt.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But he was scared to
Yeah, I mean that's always an interesting one. Like, I mean, that is the beauty of the portal. With like a lot of these great players have come from the Sears was an Ohio guy, Broome, Morehead State. Like I don't think you can fault that. That's where I get conflicted with like the portal and the NIL stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw people were talking about how like the mid majors should be like soccer, how soccer
Yeah.
like relegation and
Yeah.
or
Well, that's what they
whatever.
do well with the buyouts. Like they have that thing locked in where if you want a guy from there, you got to pay the program that you took them from for their service of not recruiting a guy because of his whatever, goes and builds his skill, and then now you're ready for him to come play at the highest level. Like that doesn't, just because you didn't build the guy. Like
yeah, we had him on our last episode. It's on YouTube.
We've had him on a couple times. Yeah. Nick's a really good guy.
He knows. He went
elite
to
ball knowledge.
Yeah, he went to the Cleveland games.
Oh yeah, we should ask him about that.
I will say one thing I do like about the whole transfer portal thing and how college athletics is now is that if you're not heavily recruited out of high school, it gives you a chance to, if you want to play somewhere big, you gotta ball out, and you'll have that opportunity if you do.
Yeah, no, it definitely does give everyone wants to play at the highest level. Like you can't fault the guy from going to Ohio to Alabama or wherever. It does give that ability. So I always thought that, and in every sport, it's like, that's a big opportunity for people to do. So I definitely don't hate that at all. Florida's kind of jumped out here.
Theo, how about on the pod, Theo? We're live. Is McMillan out this game?
They said he was available, but that might be
just a
ploy.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's why I thought that was him.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I would agree. I like the
portal. The fact that these guys weren't getting paid is an issue.
Yeah.
It needs to be. Like we were talking about earlier with like the UTSA guy, you need to be able to sign a contract for however many years.
And guys need to be able to read and have other people read contracts as well.
Exactly. If you have agents and stuff.
There's a lot of people trying to take advantage of college athletes who taking a huge percentage from their deals or agencies and whatever. But
like the thing about agents, and that's what's so different with college, is like in the NBA, there's only a finite amount of guys that are going to make a lot of money in the NBA. So if you're an agent for those guys, you're going to make a lot of money. But with college, you could be a agent for college guys and say, hey, let me sign you and I'll get you paid. And if you don't end up anywhere, they can go, all right, well, there's another guy that just entered, so I'll get you paid. There's so many opportunities. There's so many players. There's thousands of players in the transfer portal right now. You could be an agent that signs 5 of those guys and makes a ton of money off of 1 year of working. It's just, that's where I think it's an issue.
And like when NIL first came into thing, it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to sign a deal with Tin Roof Tacos and get a couple bucks for that. But now it's just kind of blown out of the water of what we expected.
The thing is, and the whole thing is funny to me because in when you're really talking about it, there's so many players, all you hear is about the big number guys, but there are a lot of guys who just really love the local business type thing. That's most of these deals. You just hear about $2-3 million deals like a Donovan Dent. Like that's the ones you hear. In reality, especially like at Boise State, like there's a handful of guys with, car dealerships locally or food, where at restaurants, wherever. Like if I was a college basketball player, I'd thoroughly enjoy getting free dinners and stuff places like, I never played, so it doesn't really matter. But it was if that was an opportunity, heck, I'd take that all day. And even when they were complaining about like whether they got like $500 from like the video game, like the college football, who cares, dude? Like 99.9% of guys did not care that they didn't get
it for free.
Yeah, my name was in there, and I got to play as myself on a video game. Like I'm cool getting $100 for the game and a free game, whatever. Like,
and like they're on
Mighty Roofing.
Mighty Roofing.
But those are the places that, if you look around the country, those are the deals that people get. Like it's not always this hundreds of $1,000 deal, or those are the ones that NIL was kind of made for. I feel like.
Before NIL, they got scholarships and they have to pay for school, but besides that, you don't have time to work a job to get any extra money or. We've known guys who are sending their NIL monies back home because their family doesn't have enough money. So
it's a massive thing. I always hated that gripe of like, that was like the old guy move to be like, they're getting free college. It's like, well, when you walk into a store, the bookstore, and your jersey's hanging up, and people are getting paid, or people are buying your jersey for $100 and you don't see $1 of it, like
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny was ahead of his time at that point. Like he would have been the millions of dollars, even though he did. But
he did. Still. But,
Well, should we call it for this one?
I think so. That was a good live stream. Hopefully,
thanks, Logan, for keeping us busy here.
Thank you for your questions. We appreciate it. And this will be uploaded. So for those people that came back and watched, thank you. And maybe we'll do another episode in a couple of days, just to recap and before the Final Four.
Thanks, man. All right, we'll see you guys.
See ya.